Hello friends, I am Lakshman. You're watching Learn Programming by Lucky Sorry YouTube channel. In this video, you will know the best open source frameworks for developers or programmers. Then what is framework? A framework is a platform for developing well-structured, maintainable, and upgradable software applications. A framework may also include code libraries, a compiler, and other programs used in the software development process. It saves a lot of time by reusing generic modules and libraries in order to focus on other areas. As there is a huge number of web development frameworks available currently, it can be a daunting task for you to choose the right one for your next web development project. So here is the highly recommended top 10 best open source frameworks for developing modern applications. Let us discuss one by one. The first one is AngularJS. Angular is a JavaScript open source framework which was designed particularly for single page web applications using MVC architecture pattern. It is not a full stack but a front-end framework dealing basically with your web pages. Developers choose this framework as it allows the developers to extend HTML vocabulary for website development. So that is therefore AngularJS is one of the most popular JavaScript framework. So Angular is supported by Google and its large community. So one of the most popular framework on GitHub. Some of the well-known companies had chosen Angular or the Guardian, HBO, Sony, and PayPal. So the main positive aspects of AngularJS are it is an open source framework and it is a lightweight framework and it is used to extend HTML and it is an expressive framework and it is a easy test ability and it gives the best performance. So the next framework is Django. It is a full stack open source framework powered by Python. It has all the web development features you will ever require for a better website. The framework provides the templates, libraries, and APIs designed to work together for connectivity. Django is based on simple model template view architecture. It is similar to MVC to divide logic and views. It supports all common databases along with object relational mapper to map projects objects with database tables. So some of the positive aspects of Django are it follows a model template view. It is similar to MVC architecture to divide logic and views. And it provides a full stack web development. And it is natively supports common database engines. For example, MySQL, SQLite, Oracle, SQL Server, and other with additional drivers. So it makes migration between them very simple. You won't need to rewrite or adapt the code. This framework will map everything itself. The next positive aspect is this framework is scalable, suitable for both small and big applications. Then where we used this one? So this framework used in many big websites like Pinterest, NASA, Washington Post, etc. The next framework is Ionic framework. This is one of the top open source framework for building amazing mobile apps. Ionic provides tools and services for developing hybrid mobile apps using web technologies like CSS, HTML5, and SAS. Ionic is an HTML5 mobile app development framework targeted at building hybrid mobile apps. Hybrid apps are essentially small websites running in a browser shell in an app that have access to the native platform layer. Hybrid apps have many benefits over pure native apps, especially in terms of platform support, speed of development, and access to third-party code. So think of Ionic is the front end UI framework that handles all of the look and feel, and UI. UI means here user interface interactions your app needs in order to be compelling. So it uses uh, phone gap to deploy natively or runs in the browser as a progressive web app. There are over 120 native device features like Bluetooth, Health Kit, fingerprint auth, and more with phone gap plugins and TypeScript extensions. So it is also have some positive aspects of Anix or so it is a free, open source, and fully cross-platform, and it requires knowledge of HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS only. So the next framework is Spring MVC. Spring MVC is the best Java web development framework. Spring has a suite of libraries which is key for enterprise Java development. Spring provides Spring Security, which is a top-class security framework. It provides an easy way to implement authentication, OpenID authentication, control on concurrent active sessions, and several other useful features out of the box. So the latest release of Spring 5 has also added support for Kotlin, the official language for Android development, and some reactive programming features, which is very useful for developing modern web applications. So some of the positive aspects of Spring frameworks are Spring enables developers to develop enterprise class applications using POSO. The next point, testing an application written with Spring is simple because environment dependent code is moved into this framework. The next framework is Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails or Rails is an open source server side web application framework written by written in Ruby programming language. Rails support full stack development, which supports both the front end and back end. Till now, a large number of applications are built through this framework. They are Twitter and Amazon. It is the topmost web application framework which follows push-based MVC architecture. All major web development frameworks either copied or borrowed the idea from Ruby on Rails because of its success and popularity. So some of the positive aspects are it is fully open source and free, and it supports full stack development and object oriented, and it is used by big companies like Twitter, Basecamp, and Amazon, and it is highly time saving and low cost production, and it has strong community support. The next framework is Node.js. Node.js is not just a framework, it is a complete environment. It has been the developer's favorite for a long time and is expected to stay this way long enough. It helps to create scalable and fast network applications since it is capable of handling a large number of simultaneous connections with high performance, which provides a high scalability. If you want a complete JavaScript environment with all the tools, the development on Node.js may be ideal for you. The Node.js framework was created with an idea of unifying web application development around a single programming language rather than different languages for server-side and client-side script. So it is created JavaScript runtime environment that executes JavaScript code on server side. So some of the positive aspects are it is a free open source framework. This framework is used to develop mobile, web, and browser-based web applications. It runs on all major platforms. So where to use this Node.js in which companies means the big companies used like IBM, PayPal, Microsoft, and LinkedIn, etc. So the next framework is ASP.NET. ASP.NET is an open source server-side web application framework designed for web development to produce dynamic web pages. It was developed by Microsoft to allow programmers to build dynamic websites, web applications, and web services. A web app development platform for building the robust desktop mobile applications. ASP.NET works for the HTTP protocol, optimizes HTTP commands. This framework is built using common language runtime. So some of the positive aspects of ASP.NET are this framework is safe and secure environment, and it is easy to write maintain source code. By using this framework, we can do easy deployment, and we can develop large apps can be developed with less coding, and memory leaks, infinite loops are destroyed quickly. The next framework is Laravel. This is the backend framework was initially introduced as an open source PHP web framework in 2011. It is an open source web application builder. Laravel follows the MVC architecture pattern. It is a PHP framework for extensive backend web application development which facilitates seamless connectivity with the backend. Laravel is well equipped with the command line tools and effective helper functions. Some of the features of Laravel are a modular packaging system with a dedicated dependency manager and different ways for accessing relational database utilities that aid in application deployment and maintenance. So some of the positive aspects of Laravel framework are it increases number of online traffic in your website. It includes the modular packaging system. The PHP needs no special inclusion paths and maintenance. So Laravel can create unique URLs. So the next framework is Metor. Metor or Metor.js is a free and open source isomorphic JavaScript web framework or written using Node.js. Metor allows for rapid prototyping and produces cross-platforms code. It integrates with MongoDB and uses the distributed data protocol and a publish subscribe pattern to automatically propagate data changes to clients without requiring the developer to write any synchronization code. On the client, Meteor can be used with its own Blaze template engine as well as with the Angular or React frameworks. So some of the positive aspects of Meteor frameworks are we can use the same code whether you are developing for iOS, web, Android, or desktop. And we can use various popular frameworks and tools and focus on building features instead of writing disparate components together yourself. The last framework is TensorFlow. It is an open source machine learning framework for everyone. It is a symbolic math library and also used for machine learning applications such as neural network. It is used for both research and production at Google. TensorFlow was developed by the Google Brain team for internal Google use. TensorFlow has an architecture that allows computation on any CPU or desktop, server, or even mobile and edge devices. So some of the positive aspects of the TensorFlows are it is suitable for artificial intelligence machine learning development, and it is used by Google, AMD, Uber, and Intel, etc. So that's all about some of the major open source frameworks so for developers or programmers. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more latest update videos and share to your friends and give comments. Thank you for visit. Have a nice day.